Welcome to my early game Materia Fusion guide. Let's jump in. So you go to Materia Fusion, you have to choose two materia. You're going to get a fused materia at the end, and if you have completed mission 7 to 1, you can also add an optional item to the fusion. So let's get started. For starters, you have to choose two materia, and what's really nice about this new version is you will be able to see the resulting materia. You can also see the additional attribute that this materia will have. The formula to get the additional attribute is fairly simple. It takes the bigger of the two numbers. So right now I have spirit plus 3, and then if I combine it with attack plus 19, the bigger of the two numbers is the 19. And then it takes the lower number and it divides it by 2 and rounds down. So here it's a 3 divided by 2 is a 1.5, rounded down is 1, and it adds it to the attribute. So here's 19, ultimately resulting in a plus 20. If I combine it with, let's say, steel, the larger number attribute I believe is preserved. So here is it stays as spirit 3. It doesn't change it to AP plus 30. The percentage ones, if you just take out that 0, you can see what the number is. So spirit plus 3, if you were to change the attribute on that materia, which we'll get to in a little bit, that will change to AP plus 30%. So 3 equals 30, and AP plus 10 is plus 1. Let me see if I have a higher level steel here. So here's spirit plus 4, because 2 divided by, or AP plus 20 divided by 2 is 2, which is 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. So, and it keeps that spirit because the spirit is bigger. And then if I choose something that is more than, oh, okay, so this is resulting of spirit plus, so it actually has to keep that spirit. But if it changes, so there's wall, there we go. So wall, it actually takes that larger number. So a little bit of a caveat there is if the result is spirit up or vitality up or whatever, it's going to preserve that type of attribute. On to some tips and tricks here. When you level up a materia, it actually increases the attribute that is associated with it. So this is AP plus 30. If you level it up, it would go up to beyond 30. And that is a great way to very inexpensively use your materia to get a higher attribute. The maximum you get is either 99 or 100, but to get there, it's going to cost you a lot of SP. So what you can do is you can level up materia that you really don't need or use a ton just to get a lot of SP. So here I've leveled up 3 Xanthosakins, each for 21,000, and I haven't added any other investment into this. So it's only vitality 15, but by SP converting these, I'm going to get 65,000. I've also been grinding a little bit on a mission where the enemies drop 2 steel materials when you steal from them. So I'm going to quickly convert these as well. Let me see if I can do this. So you're going to need hundreds and hundreds of thousands of SP, maybe even millions, to get to that plus 100 attribute level. So you can add to the materia, let's say plus 100 vitality, or plus 100 attack, or plus 100 magic by doing this. And if you do it early game, especially on hard mode, it can really make those boss battles more manageable. Okay, so we want to keep those skill toss, and we'll keep one more steel here just as a backup here. We're going to convert that. Now we'll have a nice 300,000 to use in Materia Fusion. I am currently building up this right here, this Blizzaga. It has 68. We're going to add a little bit to it. I don't think we can get all the way up to 99 or 100, but we should be able to definitely bring it up a bit. For these, every time it maxes out, it's really smart to just reset them. And by doing that, you can just add like a fire, or in this case, a thunder, and then it would change it to either Firega or Thunderga. So here it actually resets it back to 1 star, so it can level up more and actually get you some free additional plus magic in my case. And then I would add some dark matter. So then I can get, looks like I can get 19 maybe? 18? Okay. So that would be, 300,000. So let's just add 10 for now so I can show some other stuff. And that would be from 68 to 78. So these +1 materia attributes at the bottom are the best item fusions to add, as they add +1 of the attribute per fusion, which is excellent. So 68 plus 10 of this item, and the fire resets it to 1 star. That's going to result in a 78 materia fusion. So pretty pricey, 160,000, but well worth it for permanently increasing your magic when you have that equipped. So there's that aspect if you have those items. But for early game, what I want to show is how you can kind of bundle up all of your low-level items to achieve something quite great. So let's start with a brand new materia. Let's say, let's start with like a cure up here. So this cure, it's not necessarily about changing your materia, what I found out. It's about using your items the right way. So let's find something that, when combined with cure, ends with cure. So you're kind of thinking of two things. What materia do I want in my loadout? Let's say mug or steel or some sort of status strike or status ward prevention materia. Plus the attribute that you want. So right now it's a spirit, and if I combine it with additional cures, it does end up as a cure, which is great. So now we can just focus on getting those attributes really high. So for that, let's buy a few extra cures now that we know the formula, and we're just going to wrap up these items together. So I'm going to buy, let's say, 20 cures. That's going to be 20,000. And if you do a few missions, maybe you'll run into a gold rolling pin. That'll be 50,000. So it's just about using the money that you have in the right place. And this is a great place to use it. So right now it's spirit +1 plus spirit +1 is 1, because 1 divided by 2 is a half, rounded down is just 0. But we can use all of our little stones here, which is great. So these Mako stones, if you do 5, then you can add spirit +1. But we can only use the spirit stones because it's the same attribute as what we have, which is spirit. We also can use mind stone, which is 3. So they're a little bit more potent, I like to think. And then down here for spirit, we have only 1 is used. So great items, but let's say your early game, you really don't have many. You get a few of these for the early missions, so it's a great way, like, how do I use these to really amp up my power? So I have to use 5 of these. If I use more than 5, it doesn't really help. And that changes from a spirit +1 to a spirit +2. Okay, great. So let's merge that. But let's say that you ultimately are interested in, increasing your vitality, which is just straight up physical defense, which is what we'll ultimately end up to here. So we're just going to continue to do cure, and that's going to, we'll see how high we can get this. So we've added some stones. We no longer have 5 or more of the spirit stones, so we can't go that route. But we do have these mind stones. Wow, we have 50 of them. So I was doing a mission where I got lots of these mind stones. So we have, let's see, does 50 go into 3? I don't know if it does. So you can watch it on the screen. We have 15, 16, okay, so 3, 17, 18. Okay, so 18 is our max. So 48 goes into 3. I don't know how many times. Hopefully I'm reading that right. Oh, 49. No. Yeah, 48. I don't know. Okay, so 48, we're going to get from a spirit plus 2 to a spirit plus 18, which is already excellent. So we're going to proceed in fusion. We still have that cure, which is what we want in our loadout. Now we have cure, cure, and this is where it gets really cool. So let's go ahead and use, let's say 10, or let's just use all 13. How about that? All 13 mithrils. This is going to just wrap up all these spirits into here. So we're going to add that. Now we have spirit plus 31. Quickly burning through our SP, but hopefully we can push through here. And this is where it gets really cool. So we have these other stones, and you might have something similar. So we have a lot of power stones, for example, attack plus 1, only using 3 of them. That is excellent. So what we can do, it's spirit plus 1, but these actually change the attribute type more than even just plus 1. So let's go ahead and wrap up these power stones into our materia fusion. But first we have to change it to the attack type, because a power stone does plus attack. So we can just use one of these. You can see it changes it from spirit plus 31 to attack plus 32. So this adds 1 and actually forces the new attribute to match that item. So hero drink is going to change us from spirit to attack, which is just excellent. And now we have 32. We're getting up there. And now we can use our power stones. And I don't know how many we can use here. Yeah, so we don't have enough SP. But to show the point, let's use 30. So let's do 60. 60 of them. So now we're from 32 to 52, which is, in my opinion, this is huge. 52 is more than most, accessories that you can equip. I don't even know if there isn't an accessory that has attack plus 52. So again, we're just cure every single time, which is so great. And our end goal of this fusion was to up our defense, right? So at the very end, we can just use one of our adamantite, and boom, from 52 to 53 cure. And these are really good to save to do those attribute changing. I would say keep 5 at least on hand. I would try to wrap up the lower level. Unless you're super early game, then you can wrap them all up. But, early mid to mid, I would try to save at least 5 each. And then use the stones or other items. So I'm going to fuse this. We have vitality plus 1. And now we started out with a spirit plus 1. Now we have a vitality plus 53. Excellent for your loadout. Another thing I wanted to show was we're doing 2 cures. So along the way, you can see that these are also options as items to fuse with your materia, and they are great at adding to your fusions. However, they only alter certain attributes. So let's change from... Let's go ahead and buy some X potions first. I think I have a shop that has X potions. Might be down here. There it is. Okay, so how many X potions can we buy? We can buy not that many. 15. Okay. Let's buy some. We're still fairly early game. I think we're on chapter 5. So we don't have a lot of money to use, but we do have some. So we have some X potions, and we want to fuse with them, but it's of the wrong type. So along the way, I'm going to change this to an HP plus materia type. This is cured. It was 1 plus this item 1 is 2. So I'm going to fuse this. Now we have HP plus 20. Now I can fuse HP, and now it's of HP type. And I can add in my potions, X potions, high potions. And X potions are pretty good for their price. You can do high potions the same way. It just costs more high potions to do this. But if you have a lot of money and you really want to up an attribute of materia, you can switch it to an HP, add all of your potions in. So here now I have plus 60. So that added 4 just for the low price of 20 X potions, which is great. So plus 60 now. And then I can change the attribute at the very end. Let's say you really wanted this to end up as attack. Add one of those, and now you have an attack plus 7. So fairly cheap way to get what you want through Materia Fusion. And later on, when you have loads of SP and loads of money, this becomes much easier to do. I will also make another video for the kind of late game when you have tons of things. What's the most efficient way to get, you know, that maximum attribute and best loadout. But for now, hopefully this helps you with your own Materia Fusion journey.